I skipped out on community center ball hockey to watch this hockey game because I kind of knew this was going to be the big one. Out of all the games the Vancouver Canucks have played this season, none have been as important, as emotionally attentive, and as interesting as this one. Vancouver versus the New York Islanders. Days after the Vancouver Canucks sent their beloved captain Bo Horvat over to the island in exchange for Anthony Beauvillier. It was Bo versus Bo over here, and we had ourselves a fantasy team on my end that featured a whole bunch of guys suiting up in this one. Andrei Kuzmenko, Bo Horvat, Anders Lee, all a part of my fantasy team, so I kind of said, yeah, I want to see goals. Like, I know Ilya Sorokin is in net, and that guy's got like a shutout streak going on for a while, but I want to see that guy get lit. I want to see Colin Delia maybe not be as perfect as he could be, and just kind of rack up the score sheet, because at the end of the day, if there are goals scored in this game, I benefit, and it's fun for everybody watching the stats and the stat padding, of course. And then you have the idea of the draft lottery. Because if the Vancouver Canucks lose this game in regulation, there you go. That's another L in the L column. They have themselves a higher chance of drafting Bedard. If the Islanders lose in regulation, though, it becomes even more interesting because the Canucks do have the Islanders first, and that in turn makes that first round pick a little bit better if the Islanders start losing too. So it's kind of a win-win either way as long as the game doesn't go to overtime, and thankfully that was not the case here. In the Bo Horvat versus Beauvillier showcase, you had yourselves a goal from each of these guys, another goal by Bo Horvat that ended up getting called back, but the final score here for the Vancouver Canucks is 6-5, and you had yourselves a really good showcase out of many of these players who have needed to step it up in Bo Horvat's absence. JT Miller and Elias Pettersson, these guys were supposed to be coming in here as the new face-off winning centers because Bo Horvat was the primary one. And guess what? They did look pretty good in this game, as they have been the entire time Bo Horvat has been away from the team. You also had other forwards stepping up and playing big, like Brock Boeser, who had a goal and 3 assists. My goodness, what an absolute stud. This guy had a crazy good game, and it's one of the games where you watch Boeser and you actually notice that he's going out there and making these plays count. It's not just, oh, he happened to be the second last pass on this zone entry or whatever. It was like, no, Brock Boeser was part of the reason the majority of these goals even happened. Elias Pettersson had 2 goals and 1 assist. There were multiple points out of Quinn Hughes. He had 2 assists on the night. And then on the other side, you had a boatload of point scorers on the Islanders as well. Bo Horvat with 2 points, Barzal with 3. You had the defense getting involved, 2 points out of Dobson. And I'm actually the biggest idiot in the world because I have Dobson on my fantasy team, but I had him on the IR the past little while because he had been out, and I replaced him with Ryan Graves, and I didn't realize that Noah Dobson was back and healthy, so I did not reactivate him on my lineup. So I missed out on about 10 points for my matchup this week on Noah Dobson's really good play, but either way, you know, I'm still leading. Had some good points produced by the guys on my team that were active in the game, so let's head over and chronicle the Bo versus Bo post-trade matchup, starting with what happened at the 11-minute mark in the first period. This game starts out with a long lob pass from the Islanders' end. It's picked up by Kyle Palmieri in the Canucks zone. He freezes Colin Delia and snipes it off the post and in. 1-0 New York, and at this point I'm kind of saying, you know, it's going to be a long game. Just got to give it some time. Let the Canucks get their feet under them, and then they'll start scoring goals. And oh my goodness, they scored a goal really quickly. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, the very next shift, has a long shot that goes by everybody. There was debate as to whether or not it was tipped in by Anthony Beauvillier, but it was ruled a little bit later that no, it's just an unassisted goal by OEL. It goes by everybody. It kind of pops up in the air and dips towards the goal. It's a very weird shot, and not one that I think you could get consistently. But it's 1-1, and all it took was 39 seconds to get it from 1-0 to 1-1, and so the Canucks have finally got themselves some mojo. They've started to build up their own momentum, and oh my goodness, there's another one. Brock Boeser scores right away, immediately after making it 1-1. It's now 2-1. It's a centering pass from Miller on the half wall. Boeser on the hash marks, snipes it far side. Chances were coming and going like crazy in this game. Brock Nelson scores a little bit after the Boeser goal, making it 2-2. It's an odd man rush for the Islanders. Nelson, who's an accurate shooter, you should have known that from the accuracy shooting competition that we had seen earlier in the weekend. Nelson comes in, shoots and scores. It's 2-2. 4 goals on 4 consecutive shots in the game. That is how this first period starts out, and the second gets even crazier, because Connor Garland goes to the box 25 seconds into the period, and Bo Horvat scores a goal! It's a Dobson long shot that gets tipped in by Bo. He is the NHL's leader in deflection/tip goals in front, and he gets another one here, making it 3-2. Wait a minute, no it's not, it's a goalie interference call! No, my fantasy team is crying at the heavens right now because Bo Horvat's goal to make it 3-2 just got called back. The guy was out in front, kind of shoved himself into Colin Delia, and Delia fell back, so they deemed that goaltender interference. No goal, it's still 2-2, but Barzal ends up scoring immediately after as the power play barely gets killed off. Beautiful one-timer by Barzal on the Ovi spot. He just shoots it fast, it gets by Delia, and just like that, it's 3-2 New York. The Canucks then get themselves a power play opportunity. Bolduc goes to the box, but it gets killed off. The Colin Delia show continues on as he makes a beautiful short-handed save on a 2-on-1, a cross-crease pass to Parise. You then had yourselves Barzal on Brock Boeser. There's a battle of the Calder nominees from 2018, where Barzal ends up high-sticking Brock, but it's deemed a follow-through, so no call on the play. Pelech had himself a breakaway stop by Delia. That was very good to see. And then Bo Horvat scores again. And it counts this time. It's a beautiful play set up by Mathew Barzal. He slithers down to the side and throws it out in front for a Bo Horvat one-timer. That, my friends, is why you play a playmaker like Barzal with a center like Horvat, because Horvat's strengths aren't really there when it comes to making plays happen. He's a lot more of the trigger man. So having a guy like Barzal who can feed in the puck consistently, that's how you get production out of Bo, and it works like clockwork here, as it's now 4-2 Islanders, and the Vancouver Canucks have their work cut out for them. Only a few minutes later, though, you have yourselves a goal scored by Nils Aman. It's Phil DiGiuseppe with a powerful wraparound attempt. The rebound bounces off of Sorokin, and Aman is right in front, making it 4-3 at the end of the second period. And the third period is where things get crazy good for Vancouver. Pelech gets a penalty. He high-sticks Vasily Podkolzin, and this is where Petey comes in and he shows off his swagger. You remember that all-star hardest shot competition that Petey won? Yeah, he displays that here in the game as Hughes throws it over to Petey, and he, at the top of the slot, rips one on goal. It goes right by everybody. A blast of a one-timer straight through. It is now a 4-4 game with 15 minutes to go. The Canucks then start playing some really good hockey, puck-protecting, keep-away hockey. They're doing a really good job at just controlling the play and keeping the puck on their sticks. And it pays off just 4 minutes later as Elias Pettersson receives a pass on the right wing, streaks down, shoots it, and scores. Goes short side on Ilya Sorokin. It's 5-4. Quinn Hughes had the long pass to center ice. Boeser had the cheeky backhand to the wing. And Pettersson with that short side snipe grips it and rips it. Very beautiful play by the Vancouver Canucks. And things get even crazier when the Islanders go on a power play again. Ethan Bear with the slash, but the Canucks end up killing the penalty off. And this is where things get even worse for Islanders fans because Pelech goes to the box again. The Canucks end up scoring on this power play too. You had a really good selection of puck movement by Miller, Boeser, Petey, and Hughes, all just rotating around, switching positions and moving very free-flowingly throughout the Islanders zone. And eventually it's Brock Boeser who's at the point. He takes a long shot and it's tipped in by Anthony Beauvillier. The former Islander makes it 6-4 Vancouver, and that stands as the game-winning goal. The Islanders pull the goalie right after that. They get a goal by Noah Dobson. I thought it was tipped in by Anders Lee, which would have been good for me because I have Anders Lee in my fantasy team. But it's Noah Dobson who gets the decision for the goal. Long shot from the point. It makes it 6-5. The Islanders cannot score after that. That's the final score, 6-5. 5 here in the Bo versus Bo sweepstakes. Beauvillier comes out on top. Bo Horvat had more points. Bo Horvat also probably should have had more goals if you consider the first goal that he scored probably being a good one. But either way, the Vancouver Canucks have themselves a very good, just entertaining hockey game at their disposal with great storylines and great payoff. The Islanders lose again in regulation, which makes the Canucks draft pick a lot better because, yeah, they have the Islanders pick. But, yeah, you can leave in your thoughts in the comment section below. All your opinions about this game, Bo versus Bo. What were your opinions on what you saw? Did you like Bo Horvat's game? Did you like Beauvillier's game? What else did you notice about the game played on the ice that you think is worth talking about? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.